Welcome, everybody, to the Journeymen Lounge podcast.
You better be praying to God because, you're 14 and losses in a row. You're going to need Jesus.
Am I wrong?
I thought you were pretty wrong, yeah. Hey, welcome back to the Journeymen Lounge podcast. We're coming in live to you on this beautiful Thursday, November
From Chicago
7th.
IL.
Well, we're in
the suburbs.
the suburbs, but
I was trying to pull the SNL skit off.
I mean, we all
Smartass.
are from the Chicago greater area.
Hey!
Sorry. That's cool. I didn't know we had
I dig it.
Harry
Harry Carey in here.
If the moon was made out of cheese, would you eat it? How about it's made out of spare ribs? I'd eat it
Put it
and
in
drink it off a
barbecue
nice,
sauce.
cool Budweiser.
All right. So the Journeyman Lounge podcast has ridden again with the classic. We're back. The trio is back. We are back.
We're the three best friends that anyone could have.
And we're getting close to 100 subscribers. Tell your friends. We're almost there. And then once we get to 100, I did put a promise out there. I will mail you my paintball gun from high school.
Yeah, we're also going to shoot each other.
Oh my
with
God.
it.
I didn't know this.
You guys remember our bet?
Oh, what's that? Are we shooting each other?
I thought we did whoever loses.
Oh,
has
out
the
of our
worst,
pick'ems?
worst record. No, and the worst fantasy finish. I thought we had.
As what?
You get
You
shot.
get-
Oh, yeah, we
you
did
get
say something
shot-
about this.
Shot
Yes.
with a paintball.
I don't remember agreeing
Ooh,
to this.
Maybe you and I made it.
I did not.
I remember.
I did not talk about this.
Aaron was here for sure. I'll get.
We'll have to check the archives.
Check the tape.
I believe I was not part of that. I'm gonna.
You're part of the team, aren't you?
I'm
All
part
right.
of the team.
I don't know what
So
it was
be
based
confident
on.
in
though.
your ability.
Either way. First thing.
Paintball gun, you'll be fine.
Just to jump into here, let's get right into it. How did your fantasy football weeks go last week, Ryan?
Me?
Yeah.
All right. Well, in the league, I wanted to win, and I of course did not win again. 3 games skid.
Ooh, all right.
I won. Started off 1-2. Then I won 3 in a row. Then I lost 3 in a row.
Oh, you're sitting
Now I'm
middle
4
pack,
and 5.
man.
I'm one.
Or lower.
Everybody's kind of bunched up in this league. For the most part, they're either 3-6, 4-5, 5-4. A couple of teams that are better than that, but for the most part, everybody's kind of like sitting there. So I made a trade.
Let's hear it.
I got offered a trade from Dan.
Not which Dan? Sorry, I'm thinking about the pick'em. Dan. Okay, I
Dan
gotcha.
Nelson.
Yeah, I got you.
Dan offered me a trade. It was Monday. Hey, I just played him. I lost him, and then I got home from work and I checked at like 11. He offered me a trade. He wanted from me Mike Evans, who's hurt. He's out for at least 3 weeks, maybe more.
Yeah, I was going to say probably a little bit more. Yeah.
He offered me Najee Harris. Now, initially, I was like, fuck that. But I deep dove on this for like 6 hours that night. I was, okay.
Should have called me.
No.
All right, well, who are you giving up?
Just Mike Evans for Najee Harris. That was the deal.
Oh, okay.
So I accepted it. I ended up accepting it because I'll tell you why.
And you had Mike Evans, yes?
Yes.
Oh, that's a good- I think it's a
I
good
just
pick.
need a guy on my lineup to
fill.
play.
Yeah.
Plus Mike Evans taking on a bench spot. I can't pick another guy up. And even if he comes back, he might still hurt it again. I love Mike Evans. And any other circumstance, if this was like maybe 2 weeks sooner or whatever, I might not have done this trade. But because of the buys and the situation, like I have Ken Walker on buy this week. In another week, I have another guy on buy. In another week, Chase Brown's on buys. And I only have the 3 running backs. So it's like I really needed a guy. And Najee Harris just got off of his buy. So he's going to play, hopefully barring any injury or anything like that, the rest of the season. He's going to be available.
I would think so, too. I think that this would be a profitable one for you, especially if you need an RB spot.
And he's like an RB2, a solid RB2. I think he gets volume. He gets at least 13 to like 20 carries a game. The last 3 games, he got over 100 yards rushing.
You did a deep dive. Look at you going, yeah.
Since Russell Wilson's been back, he seems to be used more and efficiently and better. And like his floor is a high floor. Like he gets at least like 7 to 8 points. And then
Fair.
his high maybe is like 16.
Yeah, I was gonna say the Russell Wilson giving the Steelers much better shot at winning games means that Najee Harris is getting those handoffs late in the game. And they're actually doing things like a couple of the games I saw, he would break off like a 30, 40-yard run in the fourth.
Yes.
And that's just like that immediate 4 points. I also, again, I don't really have a negative opinion of Mike Evans all that much, but I would just say he has been made of glass the last couple of years. again with injuries decimating your team,
that's the thing is like it's time to shit or get off the pot. There's 5 weeks left.
I think that was the right move.
Arguably of the season. I'm trying to avoid the bottom right now.
I understand.
All right, and let's before you move it over to Bobby here. So what would you say? Let's just put a projection out here, or prediction rather. How many games do you think you need to win to get from where you're at right now into the playoffs, top 6?
Probably at least 3 games. I got to win 3 out of the 5 probably.
Okay.
I would say, and like I said, I got important people on buys coming up, and like now that I have him, I have options. Like I can play him. I can play him at running back. Worst comes to worst, I play him in my flex.
Yeah.
I'm already gonna have Pickens and Tyreek Hill in the receiver spot automatically. I got the best guys I have. It is what it is. So, hopefully, I don't know. Like I said, normally if there's any other situation, if Mike Evans is coming back earlier, or if there was more time left in the season, something like that, I probably would have held off on the deal. But considering the circumstance I'm in and the time of the season, he caught me at the right time where I was just like, you know what? I like my team options more with him than with Mike Evans. And I just don't have to worry about his hamstring anymore. And if he'll come back, when he'll come back, will he re-injure it? And, the thing is, I think he's going to be great because Godwin's hurt. So he's going to get a shitload of catches, barring that he's healthy. But, that's the thing. Is he going to be healthy? Hamstrings are nagging injuries.
They really are.
I don't know. I didn't want to fuck with it. I'm like, that's a decent deal. I think I'm going to take my chances.
I'd buy on that.
I think that's definitely I'll take my chances that Najee can produce over the next couple of weeks. And honestly, if Evans goes down, it then just like, yes, I made the right decision.
Because then it's like, what? And then if he misses more time, I'll have him for 2 games. It's like, is that really worth waiting? Like,
no, you're in a position where you need to make a move. So that makes sense.
Bobby, how'd your fantasy
I won
week
2 out of 3, and believe it or not, the one win we got was with my dad's team, so we were able to upset. We're 2-7 now, which is
boy,
dude, it's a shit show.
Are you Sacco?
We're down there. We need to win out, but I want to flip the script. To my family league, I'm 6-3. I'm doing well. I had a win, and one thing that I'm gonna knock, I kind of have knocked this around with you guys earlier this week. Is it time to drop Xavier Worthy from my bench?
I responded to this. I'm going to respond like I told you in the text.
Keep in mind that Hopkins is now part of the KC fold.
It depends on who you're trying to pick up. If somebody's worthy of replacing
worthy.
him. Yeah, not pun wasn't intended. But
All right.
Also, it depends. Like I told you in the text, maybe try and trade him first if you can, or package him with something for somebody. I would, because he's still got some value. They use trick plays with him, like he might get a touchdown here.
He's kind of your one-off right now. Understandably, he'd be touchdown dependent or big play dependent, but the past 3 weeks he really hasn't done a thing.
Somebody might be you might be surprised who would someone might not have thought I would have taken that deal like I just talked about. Like maybe you could
you know what? Maybe I should have offered some trades, but I did drop him already. That's the reality.
Well, who'd you pick up?
I picked up. That was Tillman.
Oh, okay. Well, then Then in that case,
that was more of a risk because I was like, dude, Worthy's not producing. I grabbed Tillman.
But Tillman's getting mad volume.
And I think with Jameis Winston now behind center, I think it was a. Yeah. But you're right. Maybe I should have thrown out a few different trades.
First of all, someone should have picked up Tillman a week or 2 ago. I can't believe he was still sitting there. But that's great that you got him. What a pickup.
I mean, for Xavier Worthy, I think because I have him in one league, I don't think he's as important in the offense that I thought he was going to be. They came out and he was like, oh, this guy's such a speedster. They do get him the ball in weird ways here, but like they for some reason don't believe that he is a guy. And now, honestly, DeAndre Hopkins there, honestly doing
and Kelsey's
shit.
starting to get some more volume.
I say, he's definitely a candidate to be dropped. In my league, I'm holding on to him probably for another week or 2 just to kind of see what happens with KC in terms of Patrick Mahomes had a scare there. I thought he fucking non-contact, his foot got caught in the ground.
Right, his hamstring or groin.
I thought he was going down with gingerly walking and stuff. He was in the next series.
It would ruin the script. He had to be healed.
That's also a thing though that I see is if a quarterback goes down, all other guys now it's not necessarily DeAndre Hopkins is going to get it. But, I mean, if he's not a guy that's every day right now, for you, hey, I need to play Xavier Worthy, drop him. I mean, that's my.
So
advice.
one thing I'll say is I won this week, but I was against the person I played against just had a real bad week. But I'm more upset about I had to pick up. So this happened. I had to pick up Daniels because I have C.J. Stroud and Caleb Williams, and both of them for the past 2 to 3 weeks barely scraped over double digits.
Wait, you're saying Jane Daniels is in the free agency?
No, sorry. New
Daniel
York Giants.
Jones.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I'm like, how the hell is Jane Daniels?
No.
All
New York
right.
Giants quarterback.
No, you said Daniel.
Yeah, okay, I got you.
But
Daniel Jones.
that's the reality because he has no wide receiver core. You have Tank Dell. That's it. And then Caleb Williams is playing like week 1 Caleb Williams. So I grabbed him as a possible contingency because I'm not certain on either one of them doing well this week because you have, Detroit playing Houston, at Houston. Now, granted, Stroud does well usually at home, but who the fuck he's going to throw to? I have Nico on my bench on IR. He's still going to be out.
Yeah, but he should be coming soon. He's
so
missed
this
at
was
least
only
a
a
couple games
plug-in
now.
where I might use Daniels as like a 1 week, 2 week.
Say Jones or say Daniel.
Daniel
Jones.
Jones,
There you
sorry.
go. Because that one you did say
Sorry,
Daniel.
I think I said Daniels in both. Sorry,
That's fine.
Daniel Jones for a 1 week, 2 week like push until Nico comes back or Caleb like finds his pulse again.
Yeah, I think it's
at least he's
fine.
got neighbors to throw to and Slayton and
Yeah, exactly. That's the reason why I grabbed him because I'm like, dude, I can't put up. I still won because she had an abysmal outside of Pollard, which. Who would have thought Pollard on Tennessee? He is doing incredible. Every week he's producing.
For a team that's 2-7, he's
the
doing
only-
phenomenal. Yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
especially to how bad he played last year when he got the starting role. You thought in Dallas, like,
Dallas.
this guy's going to be a beast, and he was a total
And that's why I didn't
letdown.
pick Lamb. And right now I'm enjoying my
And
pick of
Dallas isn't
and-
putting.
That's why
Brees.
Pollard fell in all the drafts, and some
Definitely
people
true.
you're lucky enough to get him. He's
Pollard's been doing
well,
great.
yeah.
So sorry, that was my take. But she had
Sorry.
Pollard, but everyone else on our team just. So I was able to pull off the dub.
Sounds good. I secured a win in every league this week.
That's incredible. 4.
It was a 4 for a 4-0. I feel really good. I
went 2-1, by the way. I won the other 2 leagues.
Okay.
Same.
I just want to make a quick mention for the big money league. I decided to just
Oh, he went off. He got
put a hurt down.
166.
166. Yeah, like Saquon, Derrick Henry.
Can we
Jalen
also
Hurts.
stop right there? In my one work league, I put up 138. I lose to a guy who does 164. I'm like, can I
Damn.
please get a week where a guy just doesn't have everyone on his team like averaging 24, 25, 26? I'm like, this is ridiculous.
I put up 150 in the 3 penis one, and I put up 173 in the 2 quarterback league.
That's a bullshit league, and we all disregard it as a real league.
Everybody has the same rules and rosters. What's the difference?
That's like playing with bumpers on for bowling.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is. All right, moving
How
on.
is it?
Moving forward.
That's a dumb fucking take.
That's just boosting your
Horrible take.
numbers.
That was. I just had a quick mention in that league. In the other league, I beat Jeremy. His team just
Take out the brother.
Yeah, I mean, to me, it wasn't even really like it was one of those games where I was like texting him a little bit during it, and then at a certain point, like Jameis Winston, I think in the fourth quarter still had like 3.2 points, and he played the full game. They were terrible.
They fell apart.
Meanwhile, I had Jalen Hurts, so offset of that, I just was like, yeah, it's looking like pretty much over early. It was, so it's not a whole lot of shit talking in that one. I will just quickly mention I think I have to make pretty much, I think 2 out of the next 5 secures me a spot in at least a couple playoffs for each league. In the 7-2 league that I'm in, I don't think I need.
I think you're solid there. It's
good.
more.
I don't want to drop 5 straight and then barely make it in. But Bobby, tell me for your leagues, what do you need to make in the play? We know not the other one.
My dad's like a miracle. We're 2-7, but if we win out, which won't happen, but I'll be hopeful. Whatever, we have a chance. But the other league, I'm 4-4. 4-5, and that's the guy like putting up 160. I thought I was like for sure this is gonna be my week, and then just so I'm definitely gonna need. I'd say 3 or 4 out of 5.
Okay.
In that one to be secure. 3 out of 5 would be borderline. 4 would definitely secure it. And the other one, I'm 6-3. I just don't fuck up. Do
a
okay.
couple wins, you'll be good there. I
All
do
you
want to
have to-
mention though in 3 penis wine. So Blake had an interesting strategy here.
Love it. Let's hear it.
Which he told me because I was in Arizona, as I told you guys. He was telling me the impetus of it is that basically his team went 6-0 with the team that he drafted. Then he lost the last two before this week. And he was like, nah, I got to regain the glory. So he goes, I'm going to play the guys that I literally picked up the first thing, which I think the two guys didn't play or were on bye were Deebo Samuel and the 49ers defense.
Okay.
So he played two guys down to Adam, and he fucking, like, he had Saquon, and Saquon went off.
Can we talk about that play?
We'll do it in
Oh
a
my
second
God.
here. But so he went off, and then Adam lost by like 25 or something like that, something ridiculous. So like it just was like it's one of the ultimate flexes that actually panned out because most people are thinking you don't play two guys, even if it's a defense and a kicker, you're probably still gonna lose by 30 points or so. Yet he won by 20. It's just an insane. Insane strategy.
That's a flex, man.
It's an insane strategy that worked. I was shocked for sure that it worked. But speaking of shocking things, I mean, dude, on the day of that happening, I had seen that thing about 72 times. And what we're talking about is the Saquon backwards hurdle.
Insane.
And even before that play by itself when he did the spin out, that was cool in itself. Like you could have ended that like recap right there, but then another defender is coming down. He's mid back spin and just leaps him.
Never seen it. Insane.
It's one of a kind.
Unreal.
One of a kind.
Even the benches on both sides were like, oh my God, what did we just witness?
It's hard enough and it's dangerous enough hurtling normally.
He did it
backwards, and somehow it worked. It was like
it was unreal.
Unbelievable. I mean, how could you expect that too? Like, because the hell is going to do that?
I mean, I don't think anybody.
Giants are seething right now.
I don't think any defender that goes low goes like. And a guy gets, he gets hurdled. I don't think he's ever like, oh, damn, like I should have prepared for that because those guys normally going up for those hurdles, you're getting I can't believe that he got hit as like, he's coming down. He's getting met with like three guys and he's just like fucking stands on business. He's like, all right, that was a great like 6-yard run. It's like, it's dope, man. And you are absolutely right. The Giants are fucking so pissed right now.
100%. Well, if you guys watch the Hard Knocks, they had the Giants preseason Hard Knocks.
I haven't seen that one.
The owner or whatever, I think it was the owner, Wellington Mara or his son, or John Mara or something.
John Mara is the older guy that looks kind of like Mr. Burns.
They were telling him that they were gonna like, if Saquon if he doesn't accept this, then we're gonna move on. He's like, oh, I just really hope he doesn't go to somewhere in the division. And then he went to the Eagles, and he's like, I really just hope that it doesn't bite us in the ass. Basically, like, he didn't want to he didn't want to lose him, and like this is a complete nightmare for him of what is happening.
I mean, I think it's rule number one: you don't trade somebody in the division. Bears,
well, they didn't trade. They chose not to re-sign him.
I'm sorry, I take that back. But even if there's a possibility of that guy going to with the Bears, I think it was the same thing with David Montgomery. They just didn't sign him, and then
what a waste of talent for
Detroit
you Bears.
Got him.
God.
But to me, it's just like a thing of like, I know it's very hard to do, but like a guy like Saquon, I don't see how the people in New York, their front office, isn't like, this is the guy, this is the franchise player. He will get you a Super Bowl. Like, put the team on his back. He'll fucking get you there.
It's hard because like running backs. What you're right though. Saquon is like a rare breed where he's like an elite running back. However, you can find running backs in drafts, later in drafts, sometimes undrafted. There's a lot of people that you can fill it with. Usually, like they're like they kind of go quickly too. Like, but they shouldn't have gave the money to Daniel Jones. They should give the money to Saquon. If you're gonna give money to somebody, give it to Saquon.
Yeah, agreed.
Not to Daniel Jones. Like. Then you put a quarterback with Saquon, and then you build around that.
I think their fear was he got injured quite a bit.
Yeah, that's just true.
So I can understand that, but my goodness, what a season he's already had so far, and I'm excited what he could do for the rest of it. Philadelphia, watch out for Philly. Watch out for Philly.
Sometimes, too, it takes like motivation for you going somewhere else to another team to
elevate
play.
you. Yeah,
maybe that's what Montgomery. That's why he's too. Like he went to the Lions. Like Saquon went to the rival Eagles. Like, oh, they don't believe me. Fuck them. Like I'm gonna prove them wrong. And a change of scenery is good sometimes. Like just for shit like that. I don't know.
Yeah, I definitely think there's a vengeance kind of story like brewing there because now, again, with the division thing, you play them twice a fucking year. And with that, those are very, very important games. Now, you just gave, in my opinion, that was the best weapon. That people argue like Dexter Lawrence up front is a fucking, He's like a defensive tackle. He's again, solid mainstay there, like franchise player possibly as well. But Saquon is the guy that you saw with the ball in his hands, the one-handed catches that he can make out of the backfield. It's like that type of shit is why I was just like so baffled where I'm like, oh, you're not putting all of your money. And then if he gets hurt, he gets hurt. You have clauses for that where you're not going to pay him.
And I'm going Zoolander on this. This guy's the Slash Award. He's a power back, and he could be a receiving back. He could do whatever you need him to be, which makes him so dangerous.
Yeah.
And to some extent, I'm going to give that.
What was that?
I thought the Zoolander was like Saquon can't go left or something. Like
No,
he
he could go left. Clearly,
That's Zoolander. I'm
right.
just saying.
No, I was going with that Slash Award. He's like, you remember your model slash actor?
Yeah.
Oh.
That's kind of like Bill Hader, that one character does. Like,
And but maybe I think that there's some validity in that whole Montgomery moving to another team because I think he's more of a purebred, like where Gibbs is more of a hybrid. If you had to go by that standard,
I don't think Montgomery was ever as good as on the Bear as.
They didn't.
He's way better on the lines than he ever was on the Bears. Like I think, like I don't. To me, him leaving when he left, I wasn't mad about it. I was like, okay, fine. Like
I think he has better assets, though. Clearly on both squads here, like Saquon and Montgomery.
He definitely got a bump when I think you hit it on the head with like the vengeance of like, oh, the Bears don't value me, so now I'm gonna fucking run. Like, but he run. No, they gave him the rock a lot. It's just again the offensive play calling when Montgomery. And we might as well. Let's just dip into the fucking state of the Bears, state of the Packers. Yeah. But let me just make this one point about Montgomery, and then we'll talk about the game. But Montgomery was a guy that, like, the play calling is terrible for a guy who can break tackles and get. You want to have him running downfield. You don't want to have him running out to the side. He also had, like, a little bit of a catching a ball problem in the first couple of years. He wasn't, like, always catching everything, but, like, I just look at it as like you needed to feed him the ball in unique ways. You can't just hand it off the middle, up the middle 5 times or 50 times, or you can't fucking go, hey, it's a pitch. It just didn't work. Their blocking wasn't that great. So like it set him up to fail. Is what I'm.
I can see.
I would say also last thing is that like along with that, like the Lions are a better team. The Eagles are a better team, like than the Giants and the Bears. So,
right.
Like,
I think, like I said, they have better assets, better protection.
It's easier for you. It should be easier for you to succeed more because there's more weapons besides you in an offense. It's already a machine that's already running.
No, exactly. Like I said, this creates another variable. Like I said, but I also think that the Philadelphia O-line was better than the Giants O-line. Like I think he has some better protection, better opportunities.
And you got Jalen Hurts, who's a running quarterback that helps the defense. Like, who's going to run?
How do you plan for Philly, man? That'd be a tough setup.
They got 2 elite receivers on the outside.
I got one little odd thing, and then we'll do State of the Packers. But
we didn't even do State of the Bears. We're just
okay. Well, I just one odd thing then, real quick. Go. Bowers. Can we give some love for Bowers?
Brock Bowers.
Yeah, he's phenomenal.
I'm just saying, for a team that clearly has issues all around, I think this guy's increasing his stock 7-fold, and I hope eventually he leaves because there's no way that he's going to be successful career with.
I'm not gonna lie. I think let's see who Las Vegas's next quarterback is because Minshew and Aiden O'Connell and
dude, it is dumpster fire over there.
It's like none of these guys I think are going to be around next year.
Well, is Antonio Pierce going to be around next year too?
Yeah, I mean they fired some coaching staff, but I don't know. Brock Bowers is great, but you got to see.
I'm just excited
to see
how
do.
well he's been performing.
He's got a very high ceiling if he can get a great quarterback because he's doing what he's doing with fucking shit talent and definitely there. I'm gonna run through real quick Woj's wagers.
Oh yeah, Bobby's bets.
Joe Burrow for the Thursday night. We got Baltimore, Cincinnati. Sorry. Joe Burrow 200 yards, Jamar Chase 65 yards receiving, Gesicki 35, Zay 50, Derrick Henry 80 and 18 rushes. Bobby, what you got?
All right, I got 2 going. One of them with AJ. We did a split, but Derrick Henry, anytime touchdown. Baltimore to win by 3. Jamar Chase for 60. Chase Brown for 40 yards. Joe Burrow, 2 passing touchdowns. And Joe Burrow for over 225 passing.
Okay.
And then the other one, I got Gesicki over 40. Flowers over 40. Lamar Jackson over 225. Derrick Henry, 60 yards. Mark Andrews, 25 yards. And Jamar Chase, anytime touchdown.
Okay.
I went a little wild on this. Usually I don't do it, but fuck it. I'm running with it.
Whatever, man. We'll see what happens. So let's do state of the Packers, state of the Bears. We'll do Packers first, though. I didn't really see too much of the game. So what happened?
Did Jordan Love play?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't see the game.
No. So there was an untimely interception right before half that could have been avoided, and like I said, the game kind of got away from us when we started making mental errors. Like I said, I think their overall performance against a very disciplined team like the Lions are, and it's weird to say that because the Lions used to be
dog shit, yeah,
a joke for my entire life for the most. Like they could even go up 20 points and they'll figure a way to mess it up.
They flipped it.
Yeah. So hats off to the coach. Would love to feel free to hire me.
Dan Campbell.
I could be a defensive. I could work with the cornerbacks. But anywho, don't give me that look.
That's Bobby's resume right now. That's
right there.
Fucking great.
I'm a fucking winner. He likes winners.
Okay.
But one thing that I'll say is we created opportunities for Detroit, and they capitalized on every one of them, and you're not going to win games, especially against a team that doesn't make many mistakes.
Yeah, I think you have to play mistake-free football against Detroit. Detroit was one of those teams
They'll
that will
make you fucking earn it.
Make you pay.
Yep.
And obviously, Jordan Love was going a little hobbled into that game.
Yeah,
with the
there's a lingering leg issue with him. There's something.
He did his groin up. His knee is not 100% because he had an MCL injury in first fucking week or 2 weeks, whatever.
He needs to rehab that a little bit, or maybe give some more.
I mean, you have a nice deal with the Packers, being that still a lot of division games left, and Packers. I mean, they stole that. Didn't they steal that game away from Minnesota? Right.
Mm-hmm.
So. I still look at the Packers being fine, as
We're
long
in good
as Jordan,
shape, dude. The
as
NFC
long as
North
Jordan
is competitive
Love,
as shit, though.
As long as Jordan Love stays healthy, that's your big thing. Because Malik Willis ain't gonna be winning.
He did okay though. He got 2 out of 3.
Not as a long term. You give Malik Willis 7 games this year.
I would agree. He's not gonna bring you through the playoffs, but he might get you to
maybe
it.
it'd be good to play him a couple right now and rest Love, get him healed up. I don't know.
If we were playing a team like the Titans or Las Vegas, I would say let's run that.
I would doubt that they're gonna do that, but we'll see. All right, let's change gears into the state of the Bears.
Right.
Another
Bears.
I mean, I was there, man.
Let's hear about this. He actually was at the game.
Fucking, we outnumbered Arizona Cardinals fans 2-1.
That's not surprising.
This was they
travel heavy.
Bears home game. Also, Arizona's a destination for a lot of people from Chicago as well. Mm-hmm. But
call them snowbirds.
Yeah. I'm just saying it's the way in which they played there. It hurts even more when they're just like you're in person to see it, because you're like, some of these plays are just like you see the guy like, oh no, like one cut, that running 50-yard rush
right
at the end
before half.
And then he takes it like 50 yards. You're like, oh, if he gets outside, we're fucked. And then boop, boop. And then he's gone. I'm like, oh, God.
Where are your seats?
Like the 400 level, so way up. But
like which side and corner?
You avoided that rain though, right?
On that would be the west.
I got a compass.
Yeah, no, we're not Boy Scouts here. We got it. You're in the 400 level, but
yeah, I mean,
at least you were protected. There was hail. There's rain and hail that came.
In the way in which Arizona State Farm Stadium is, so like basically this is the only spot on the actual field. Like if you just imagine, like this is the opening up top, and then this is the field below it. Like, so you really can't, like, we were over here, so you really can't get, like, rained on or, like, hailed on or anything.
Field only.
And they closed it after, like, 5 minutes.
Yeah, why did they have it open anyway? They knew rain was coming. You have the roof.
They're real dumb.
Do you think the meteorologist was full of shit?
I'm going to say, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, Woj, but I was saying I didn't get to watch much of the game as I work, but, like, I caught a couple glimpses, and I'm like, is that rain on the field? And I'm like, I thought they have a dome. Like, it's like, yeah, it's retractable. I'm like, why aren't they retracting?
It takes about like 15 minutes to fully close.
Yeah, it takes a second.
I know, but you have the weather report for days. Like, you know it's going to rain.
That's such a Chicago thing, though. We'll see. You know, it's kind of like a 50-50.
No, it's Arizona. Well,
I know, I'm just saying, like, our meteorologists.
And also, you would think, like, the Bears would probably play better in the shit weather because they're used to it. Like, their field's a horrible field, like, sloppy conditions.
Yeah,
like
I get
the Cardinals are more of a dome team. That's their stadium.
Mm-hmm. Right.
So it's like no advantage for them, but whatever. I thought that was interesting.
Yeah, Connor carved you guys up pretty fierce.
See, I don't think that factored into anything because of the fact what I look at is, and I've talked about this now with a couple of different people, It's just the fact that like the offensive line there. I think there was one. Tevin Jenkins maybe wasn't playing, or one of the offensive line. So we were down one guy, but to me there wasn't any adjustment. Like they just kept putting pressure on Caleb Williams, blitz guys, make him beat us in the air. Caleb misses a couple throws, which is understandable because he's under duress, but like it's just a thing of like, why didn't the Bears go out and get help when you clearly need help at the offensive line position? Like we're
Agreed.
not being able to control the line of scrimmage most games. And I just want to see, if you're not going to bring somebody else in, make up some moves or do something, like get a fire sparked under these guys, because if Caleb Williams is going to have less than 2 seconds to throw each time, it's going to be like that shit.
Right.
What was the last 29 to
9 to something? Yeah.
We scored 3 field goals. It was fucking
I'll say this:
terrible.
there was some missed calls from the refs against the Bears that they were in the red zone. Some of those, I'm like, come on, you got to throw the flag, and they gave maybe the home team some love. But you guys weren't winning that game anyways. You guys were playing scared, and like I said, Caleb was running for his life.
So I didn't catch much of it. From what I saw, or from what I've seen a lot of this year, it seems like either one or two things is happening. The offensive line is not giving him enough time. He's having to move around everywhere. And then, or two, the guys aren't open on the field or something. I don't know. Like
I can attest that.
Are they not? Or are they?
I can
there's a
attest
few
that these
openings.
guys are not getting the most separation here.
Yeah.
But the way in which these routes, and again, I want to say this, is that like the fact that Caleb Williams is able to kind of move around, and he's not like a Tom Brady statue where he's like, hey, I got great accuracy, but I can't move 5 yards to my right.
Right.
I love the fact that he has the ability to scramble, but he keeps doing this thing where he's trying to do the college ball where
It won't work in
the
the NFL.
quarterback in college
Broken
normally could
play.
just run around and
Yeah.
just create time and fucking whatever. Oh, could we do this or whatever? But I think that's actually hurting the Bears, because I think by the time that like he's going around,
The
some of these
receivers aren't pulling off of their routes and doing something.
But I'm saying some of these plays, like he's doing all these like scrambles on the left side of the field, all the routes are to the right. So by the time that
You're
he
right,
can
you can't
fucking
even
come
redirect to
back,
come-
okay, now they're going to maybe be open in the middle of the field, but then you have to deal with
now you're throwing across your body.
It's just like a lot of shit that like I'm like, why aren't the coaches doing anything to address this? Like I can't look at that game and go like, where was the coaching at halftime? And Eberflus said something that was the dumbest thing somebody
Let's
else said
hear
on a podcast. He goes, the fucking bullshit interview coming out at halftime, they go like, oh, coach, what did you tell your team in there? And he was like, I told them this is who we got in here, and we're down right now, so we got to get it. It's like, what the fuck? Like,
what
even
kind
if
of a
you
bullshit answer is that?
even if you dumb it down for like the interview that's like really stupid,
That's nothing.
I mean,
why can't you just go like, hey, we played like shit, we need to fucking do this, and this, and then we'll win the game? Like, be assertive.
I said it last season. They should have fired him. We should have got Harbaugh.
It's starting to look
fucking
that way.
I
now.
said
Agreed.
it. I'm like, because it's stupid too. They do this every time. It's the same thing. I was like, they're doing it again. They're going to do it again. They fire the coach or whatever, and they draft a quarterback, and then they draft, and then they already have a coach that's like an incumbent, and then they're going to fire him and bring a new coach on, like they did with Trubisky, with Fields, and now Caleb Williams. They've done it 3 times in a row. They're going to do it 3 times in a row.
Yeah, I am in much support of firing Eberflus for the
like,
rest of
shoulda
the
just-
season.
I feel bad for DJ Moore. That guy, he's the only one I really see on the field when I'm actually watching the routes and other things.
Hey,
He's running crisp routes. He's getting open, and then
separation,
he's like,
yes.
hey, just waving to the quarterback. I'm here. I exist.
He does not like Caleb.
I could tell.
It seems like, I mean, the one play he walked off the
No,
field.
okay.
No,
so
that was actually
I know he
smart.
hurt his ankle or whatever.
No,
Don't
there's-
don't give him that, man. Like
It looks,
there wasn't.
it
gonna
looks
be,
bad. You wouldn't have sat on the bench. It doesn't.
No,
look good.
there's a reason behind it. Once you leave the field of play, you can't be the first person to touch the ball.
I think DJ Moore was simply playing like. He turned his ankle. It is very evident that he does that, and he hobbles on the next 2 steps. But I think it's more of a thing of like, this isn't like the play of the game. I bet you fucking dollars to donuts if that was like the last play of the game. I bet you DJ would have rolled that ankle and like tried to like even just try and do like a little route into the middle
Something,
or whatever.
yeah.
I like. DJ
I think
Moore.
I think
I
it's
love
where
DJ.
the game was at. The Bears offense hadn't put shit together. I don't even know if they crossed the 50 like by their own accord, like actually making a drive. I think they fucking like got like a turnover, a bad, punt or something like that. It's just like, again, to me, Eberflus is not going to be the guy in 3 years or 2 years. I don't see him moving on to be
You're
the
ready
guy
for
who's
him to just go.
taking us to a championship. It's not time to fucking do this bullshit with the history of like, oh, we're not going to fire a coach in the middle of the season. We don't do whatever. It accomplishes
It's been done.
It accomplishes nothing, and some of those teams are better for it. I guarantee you that.
I have one little tidbit,
Go
and
ahead.
then we could probably close off the segment. So the Pope, I just heard this on some podcast, not podcast. I was listening to the radio this morning. The Pope commented and hashtag Saints. You know, he was talking about the Saints, you know, from the Bible. But then when you're talking about the Saints in the middle of NFL season, a lot of people were just kind of riffing and putting in like, yeah, even the Pope thinks that firing their head coach was a good idea.
yeah.
Maybe we'll have some divine intervention this upcoming. So everyone was like pulling him in and like hashtagging
That's
him,
great.
like all these Saints fans. So I love it, guys. Keep it up. That was really fun. I hope you guys play better. Like I was early on the Saints. I thought they hit a rhythm, and then dude just train
They've been horrible.
wreck. Oh.
All right. Well, let's go.
That was
through
just fun. The Pope getting rizzed.
Gotcha. All right, let's go through the games here real quick.
Let's run it.
Cincinnati, Baltimore tonight. I got Baltimore.
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 New York Giants, Carolina. I'm going with the Giants.
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 That one's in Germany. Cool.
Germans.
Das ist good, ja. Prost.
What is it, Grandpapa? Oh, that's my favorite.
Grandma cannot be such a whore.
All right, New England at Chicago. I got Chicago.
Yeah, you guys should be able to beat New England. I got Chicago.
I guess I'll go Bears. I don't like it.
I don't like it
Okay.
either, but you guys should.
Buffalo at Indy. I got Buffalo.
Buffalo. Yeah.
Denver at Kansas City. I got Kansas City.
Script.
Yeah. Kansas City.
Atlanta, New Orleans. We were just talking about them.
Atlanta.
Yeah, Atlanta. But I think it's going to be a closer game. I don't think you guys realize it's not going to be a blowout. All right.
Okay. San Fran, Tampa Bay. I got San Fran coming off a bye.
Yeah, McCaffrey's back. San Fran.
I'm going, San Fran. Tampa has depleted wide receiver core.
All right. Pittsburgh at Washington.
Pittsburgh.
I have the upset, too. I think Pittsburgh's going to win.
Minnesota, Jacksonville.
What about you? You
yeah.
didn't even.
Oh, shit. Pittsburgh. Sorry, man. I'm trying to do a couple
Mm-hmm.
things. Go ahead. Minnesota, Jacksonville.
Minnesota.
Minnesota, Tennessee, Los Angeles. Chargers.
Los
Sorry.
Angeles Chargers.
Chargers.
Philly, Dallas, Philly.
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 Jets, Arizona. I got Jets.
AZ, baby.
Jets.
Detroit,
Arizona.
Houston. I got Detroit.
Detroit.
Same.
Yeah.
Detroit's good. They're good.
Okay, Miami, Los Angeles, Rams. I have the Rams.
Yeah. Rams.
I'm also going Rams.
Okay.
God, we were too much alike on this week. I figured one of you guys might go
Well,
off.
Mr.
radar.
Upset.
I
didn't
did
do
pick
shit
8
over
last
there.
week. It's Carolina over Saints, I believe.
Yeah.
All right, man. Mr.
Suck
Upset.
on that.
That's cool.
Yeah, we
All
got
right.
a real riveting movie review to come up.
All right. So shut your horn mouth because the Bulls are about to start
We
here.
can't play this.
I know, we're going to get sued.
We're not going to get sued. We're fine. All right. So we got Halloweentown movie review coming up.
Oh, God.
Let's fucking do it.
Let's go.
My two co-hosts right now are going to fucking blow their brains out probably.
This is
Yeah.
going to be a fun
It's gonna be a fun
discussion.
one.
Yeah.
Chime in. You guys will like it.
All right. Peace out. We'll be back. Grab a beer.
It's just good. It's just like a
One of our panelists definitely sleeps with the lights on after watching a horror movie. So, Woj, you want to bring us in?
Sure. I can cut all that out. You know.
Maybe watch a little bit of SpongeBob before you go to bed. Trying to bury the scary thoughts.
All right. The Journeymen Lounge podcast.
Oh, God, this is going to be
Bobby and Ryan have already voiced some displeasure of the choice that I made of my movie.
You know what? Well, it's,
Okay. You don't
No, let him cook.
bring it in, and then you can. We'll have plenty of
I feel like
time.
you're lambasting me a little bit.
I'm just simply saying is that it is very much on the record that when I mentioned Halloweentown, which Bobby misread as The Nightmare Before Christmas somehow.
I did. I was like, I thought he was trying to kind
But
of.
both of your guys' reactions were on the negative side.
That's fair. But
and that's all that I was getting to.
I just want to
ahead.
say though, I don't think I'll be as negative as Bobby, but I will be negative, but maybe not as negative.
I gotta. I
do,
gotta
'cause
curtail some of my response because my fiance loves this movie.
Yeah. And tell the audience what happened, Bobby, is when
She
we were
basically said verbatim, like, tell Woj that this was one of his best picks. I think that unequivocally was a great option. And here's me sitting there, like, dictating this on my phone via text.
That was
and
nice.
She's like, well, also, we got to talk about Halloweentown High. I think that's highly rated.
Oh,
I'm like,
God.
I know. So I was texting this all to Woj via my Amber phone.
I'm not gonna lie, that was probably the best part of me choosing this movie is that
And she actually watched
your
it with me,
fiance
too.
was like, "What
She
a
was
great
stoked
pick!" And I
about
was like,
it.
"All right."
She's like, all right, we putting the movie on? I'm like, yeah, we're putting the movie
Dope.
on. Like, here's me on my phone 4 seconds in. But all right,
right.
go ahead. Run us.
Okay, so I'll do
This is gonna be fun.
I'll do the synopsis. So
Amber, please turn off the video now.
okay, so
She doesn't watch this shit.
So Halloweentown is one of the Disney Channel original movies. For
Yes.
those who know.
Which I will say, if I may comment,
Go ahead.
I would watch these every month. They would come out once a month. I was excited for these. I grew up in the era of this. This movie came out in 98, which is about when they started, like 97, 98.
Yep.
So I was like 9 years old. I was the perfect demographic for this movie.
Right
So I
in
do
it.
have some nostalgia a little nostalgia for it.
Mm-hmm.
Rewatching as an adult through different lenses is of course,
Yes.
a different experience. But that being said, there will be a movie every month on Disney Channel, and like I was so excited. Like I probably have seen like 25 of these. I don't know, from like 98 to like 2000, let's say 4.
Mm-hmm.
I probably stopped 2003.
Mm-hmm.
So there were, I've seen plenty of them. I would say the best one for my favorite one would be Brink.
Brink, thank you. I was about to say that. Loved it.
I got Luck of the
Pup and
Irish.
Suds. Let's
Ooh,
go.
I do like Loving Irish too.
Luck of the
That's a good
Irish
call.
was pretty good for me.
And the guy,
Brink's up there.
Yeah, they're both fantastic. But anyway, go ahead, Woj.
So, I chose this as a homage to Halloween. I'm not gonna lie, with the fact that it just kind of took a little long because like we had like couldn't
Had some
really
breaks,
discuss it
yeah.
last week or whatever. I would have liked to done this one before because now we're kind of like into like the Thanksgiving Christmas type of mood after it.
It is what it is.
So I will say this, just give me at least that little caveat of like the timing of when I wanted to do this.
Yeah.
I would have rather done it a little bit earlier.
We wanted all three of us on the review.
Yes,
So in order to make that
that's true.
happen, the scheduling last week just did not provide us with that. So
Yep.
we had to do it this week. So it is what it is.
Yep. So I'll just give a quick synopsis. This is 1998, and this was directed by Dwayne Dunham. There you go. Which I'm not gonna lie.
I think he directed a couple things, like for Adam Sandler or something, maybe.
Well,
or
I think his real like claim to fame for sure is
like Joe Dirt or something.
he was in the editorial
You got that.
editorial department
There you go.
for
Big words. Yeah.
Star Wars Episode 5,
Woo!
Raiders of the Lost Ark,
Okay, so that's some accolades.
Throw
right
Mama from
there.
the Train is not like the same. Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. So, he also directed Little Giants.
That's what it was. Little Giants.
Love Little Giants.
Fucking
All right,
love
there we
Little
go. Hey,
Giants.
what a record so far. Let's keep it going.
Oh, and then he did a bunch of the other double teamed that Disney original movies.
Yeah.
It's not a porno. It sounds like it.
No.
It's
Sounds
not.
like it.
And it's a terrible basketball movie where the girl travels for her finishing move.
Oh,
Is this the
dude,
one
hold
where
on,
she
hold on.
does
There's
this
a whole
one
video
like
Hold
on
on.
it. Yeah.
Dude, get the I'll have to send you the video. There's a dude
this?
a dude breaking it down of
I
like
saw it.
every
Yeah, I saw it.
He's like, it's
I'll-
already been like 7 seconds. Yeah, I've seen
It's
that
like
too.
at this point the game would have been over by 4 minutes.
It's like she's traveling. Who steps to their feet? You leaving your pivot every time.
Yeah.
That's great.
Okay, so
All right, yeah.
I
Bring
will
us
send
back.
you that
Yeah,
though.
that was
All
good.
right, so
I need that. Thank you. Give me some love.
okay, so the premise of the movie is that there are witches, wizards, creatures, basically every creature that you can
Ghosts,
think of,
vampires.
ghosts, everything that exists in this place called Halloweentown. It is in a completely separate universe. Basically, the backstory is that they used to live among humans, but after the Dark Ages, where they were blaming them for everything, they basically created another dimension, and now again only on Halloween for a few hours.
That portal opens.
You can travel on the bus to
so you can
the
go
mortal
between
world and
go between the worlds, but it's only on midnight. In this world, if you're 13, you start if you have to utilize your powers or something like that by 13, otherwise you lose them forever. Okay, you guys are fucking miles away. It's cool.
No, I heard you.
I heard you. I read you.
It's all good. So the family is basically the Cromwell family. It's like the grandmother, played by Debbie Reynolds.
Debbie Reynolds, great job.
Absolute great actress.
Carries the movie.
Yeah, so she comes back to the mortal world because her daughter married a human, doesn't want to have anything to do with magic. She's kind of a bitch in it, but plays a good bitch.
Yeah.
Total bitch.
And so again, the grandmother is basically trying to get the last stitch effort so that the daughter can start to become a witch. Otherwise, she loses the powers.
And she needs the one other witch's power to help her because something's going on in the Halloweentown where people are going missing or something.
Right. So Dev, what's her
Warlock? What's his name?
Debbie Reynolds' grandma. I don't know. Just call her grandma.
Her name is Grandma
Agatha Cromwell.
Aggie Cromwell. Right. So Aggie starts to notice that the people change their demeanor and then they get lost, disappear off the earth. You find out basically that this spoiler for all those that are gonna go back and watch this.
No one will. Go ahead.
Unless you're 6 years old.
So the mayor of the town, who knows the Cromwells and all that stuff,
dated the mom for a period.
He's actually trying to basically take over the mortal world. He's basically making everybody a slave, basically.
Can I just get into it right now? He is Emperor Palpatine. He's literally he looks like Palpatine. Yeah. He's doing a Palpatine where he's the senator and then he's behind the scenes, he's the emperor. It's literally the same thing.
Right.
I found that interesting.
Copy paste. Yeah. Continue.
Definitely so. No, I and also he's got a Star Wars connection. So
he looks like the emperor when he's in his evil form.
True form or whatever.
Not too far off. So he's doing all this stuff behind the scenes, and Aggie Cromwell's like, "Hey, I got the staff or fucking whatever.
Merlin's
chalice,
something."
Staff.
Yeah.
No, it's like a little
Merlin's staff, the top of it, or
something.
Talisman. Yeah, it's like a glowing ball thing.
Talisman for 1,000. All right, so she has to do a fucking spell to get this thing to get the warlock, and basically the kids follow the grandma back into Halloweentown. That's how they learn about it. She learns
because the daughter overheard them having a conversation in the kitchen about her being a witch, and she saw him turn a chicken into a live chicken.
So Marnie, the daughter, is
cool.
she's trying to figure out her power. She likes all weird shit and all that stuff, like the creatures. She knew she was different. And then she has a brother, Dylan, and then
love Dylan.
A little girl, Sophie, who just wanted a drop kick in the face.
Sophie,
the chick. Let's go real quick.
Oh man.
That was pretty much the synopsis. They fucking shocker. It's a Disney movie. They get the magic together. They do the potion. They put it in the middle of Halloweentown,
jack-o'-lantern,
and they defeat the wizard.
Somehow.
Good?
Basically, yeah.
All right, moving on. I would ask you guys for favorite scenes.
We can still go through it.
I wrote down 5.
Okay. I like the first introduction to Halloweentown. Just kind of it's got this fair
You mean
type.
the narrative in the kitchen or actually
No,
witnessing it?
getting there. They have this fair type music where clearly it's oh, you're in this different world type of thing.
That song is so stuck in my head.
It's a little.
Yeah,
it's just a little it kind of reminded me of Pokemon, when you're driving through the town.
Yeah, I got you. That's perfect. Yeah.
All right, Ryan, what you got?
Great representation.
I had that scene as well. I have a couple others too. I like when Grandma buys Marnie a broom and they go for a ride and they have a noticeable green screen. That was fun. And I have
catching in editing.
Grandma gets taken to the closed movie theater to go see Emperor Palpatine by the asshole ginger kid. That was interesting. Also, kind of just like there's not really a specific scene, but the banter with the little brother and the older sister.
Yeah, Dylan is.
First of all, he annoyed the shit out of me for the first like 10 minutes of the movie, but then afterwards he kind of like holds the movie together a little bit.
I love it. I actually love this character. He was pointing out all the logical fallacies and bullshit.
That's why I liked him, because he was just like, nah, I'm dreaming right now.
Let me just say though, he's a mama's boy.
Oh, definitely.
Big time.
I am too, though, so I don't care.
And yeah,
I can relate.
He's kind of like a little like a little annoying little brother who like
nerdy guy.
Thinks he knows everything and always like telling his mom everything. Whatever. But he was kind of funny.
I like the Benny scenes. That was a skeleton who drove the taxi.
God damn it, that was my scene too.
Oh yeah.
Where he's just razzing the kids a little bit and having a good time. Not the possessed one, the original.
Yeah, I mean he definitely changed or whatever, but
a psycho.
Yeah. It was at least, it was like, again, this is a TV movie made for kids, and I was like, that's right up there.
I was gonna say, this is kind of a scene. Also, I had it more for like of a side character thing, but the two-headed bus station concierge people.
They were funny.
Yeah.
When when the mom's trying to get a bus and they're like, oh no, they're just like bickering back and forth. That's kind of like also like Star Wars, like Phantom Menace, like the two announcing guys.
Yes.
Who share that.
Oh my God, yeah, good parallel.
I just realized that actually. I didn't even have that written down, but I thought they were kind of funny. You know, it's like it's a kids movie, so it's like it's not like I'm judging it kind of differently or trying to, but you know, it is what it is.
I'm in the same way in that like the fact that this movie was like an hour and 20 minutes or so with shit, it's like it's pretty quick through there. I wasn't gonna say that there's like, I was like, getting the post ingredients is the entirety of the movie. It's like,
I think they kind of could have got to I think they should have got to the Halloweentown stuff faster. And kind of the main plot of the evil and more of that stuff. They kind of breezed through that pretty quickly. I felt like it was like.
I would agree. I you know what? I could understand whatever the warlock, the mayor's like disposition. I get it.
Yeah, I also kind of.
I get it.
I wanted a little more motivation from him. I think it's kind of implied that obviously they used to be together, and maybe he's pissed off that she married a human instead of him or something.
Right.
But he doesn't say that. He just says that he wants the worlds to merge because he's sick of being in the shadows or.
Is it ever said that, like, what happened to the father? Did he die?
No, I guess he's died. I'm assuming he died.
He died.
Is it assumption of death?
No, they said that he died.
Okay. All right, I guess like one other favorite scene was for me was.
I mean, if you don't have another favorite.
No, I do. No, but the Insta. Like she's like, oh yeah.
Insta.
That was kind of funny. She threw it in the microwave.
I did have that written. I did have that written down. I like the microwave settings. It said bubble, toil, trouble.
Yeah, exactly.
That was funny.
So that was a fun little tidbit for me. I
wrote down that as well. All right, I'm just gonna make a couple just about the cast. So like Debbie Reynolds she's like one of those golden age type of actors and all that stuff.
Carrie Fisher's mother
as well. But I mean, like she was born in 1932, Singing in the Rain.
Singing in the Rain, yes, I was gonna say.
Yeah, I mean, just a bunch of these older.
She was in that.
Getting her was a big get for a TV movie, you know.
And I think she plays like a like she's a great actress,
grandma,
but like great grandma, kind of well. Kimberly J. Brown was in a bunch of DComs.
I get it all the time. I look like Henry Cavill in the streets, so I get it. Should I be an actor?
From Blind People?
What? You look like Henry Cavill? No.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, and I'm good at Warhammer, so it all kind of lines up.
From Blind People, they were like, yeah, this guy really looks like. Oh my God, they're doing touching your face. Like, were you in a horrific accident? Oh my God, what is that?
What is that from? That movie, Rocky with the face. He's all disformed and the girl's blind. It doesn't matter.
Okay. Either way, Judith Hogue, who plays the mom.
I had her as that guy. She is April O'Neil in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Yep.
Oh my God!
And also, she was in Armageddon. She was the wife of a chick.
She was in an episode or two of Sons as well.
Yeah, nothing crazy, but she's kind of got a memorable.
Great.
And then real deep cut here, Joey Zimmerman.
Oh, dude, Hyde in the 70s show. Yes, dude. Okay, let me get into that for a second.
Hey, go ahead.
I did not realize that, and I looked at the IMDb as well. I'm like, what has this kid been in? I'm like, Oh my God, he's like 13-year-old Hyde in the flashback, which is hilarious. That scene is hilarious,
So
by the
good.
way. And they get all the people they get to play the younger versions of themselves was spot on. Just want to say in that episode.
So.
Moving on though, sorry about that. Yeah.
I would also say that this Kimberly J. Brown, definitely one of those early crushes of like, oh.
I found her.
Wait, the brunette?
Like, yeah, when I was fucking...
Yeah, I guess when I was younger.
When this movie came out and I was like 6 or 7, I was like, who is that? She's cute.
I found her rather annoying this time around.
Yeah, definitely disagree. I guess mine was more on.
Well,
Ren.
Bobby, think about
Ren
it.
Stevens or Elizabeth McGuire, man.
But
Ooh.
Definitely.
that falls in more with
Both
when
wins,
you were 14. That's
no,
when
that was when I was younger too. Like, even
they
Well,
weren't doing shit in the early mid 90s.
Even Stevens and Lizzie McGuire
That was
was
all,
like
like-
early 2000s. I
Yes,
was all of like
with-
10 or 11, dude.
For you,
Yeah.
No,
Not
you-
that-
you would have
I'm
been
old.
12,
I'm not-
13, right?
No. Like,
I'm saying compared to so
sorry,
1990.
6-year-old, I guess.
Okay,
maybe that's a different
1998.
thing.
You're what?
98, I am 10 years old.
Okay, I am 6, and so it's like
How do you even have an interest in women at 6 years old?
Well, he probably caught the movie a couple of years later, and then.
I guess I was at
Yeah,
least.
I mean, they always play it on TV. It's not.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. We're not going through that.
That's all right.
Let's keep running it.
Oh, yeah, that's fine. Quotes. One from Dylan.
There's actually a few good banters.
I have
here.
one quote.
So it's just again the overall how Dylan.
Thank you.
You know,
Dylan
it does-
just fucking shitting on everything. With
I just love
logic.
it, but he's like in the beginning. He's like, actually, she gets B's and C's. I get the A's. I'm
Yeah.
like, look at this little nerdy
Like
bitch.
you little fucking.
I love it though. It's like you're a little nerdy
you
dick.
cunt. Anyway, I have one. If I can read it, just the one. Dylan says, "Ghosts are dead. Why would they care about physical fitness?" I thought that was really funny.
Yeah.
I didn't expect that because the ghost is getting a steam at the gym for some
Right,
reason.
right.
I don't know why.
Yeah, there's some
That
continuity
was
errors,
kind of
but
funny.
it's all good.
No, it was funny. It was a funny line. It was a smart line.
Yeah. I like the one being normal is vastly
It was
overrated.
vastly overrated.
There's a nice one. It's like, Ag. The grandma is like, my story is about a magical place where many sorts of different creatures live together in peace. And then the kid's like Cleveland?
Like Cleveland.
Yeah. I raise a demon from the underworld, and they say big deal. I saw the same thing on Jerry Springer. There's a couple little gems in
I
there.
missed a couple of those.
I think Dylan is, the foreground for many of these, like, just, like, one-ups.
Definitely, it's definitely that type of movie where there's like, hey, there's got to be somebody throwing in the jabs, like the punchline.
The
at
one
the
thing,
end.
okay, you have that nerdy, like, dude who thought or not nerdy, sorry, like, the guy in Halloweentown who thought he was tough shit, and he's like, you bet, like, all the, like, banter around
Yeah,
him.
the ginger.
You're a jerk. You better knock it out. Like, I was like, okay, like,
Oh,
I
Luke.
get it.
Luke.
No, but I
yeah.
was just like, some of the back and forth with him, I was like, God damn, dude, this is sugar coated as hell.
Oh yeah, I mean, again, it's
I get
a
it, it's Nickelodeon.
G-rated movie for sure. I just got a last little topic here of picking Nits soundtrack. There is no.
Oh, I got plenty.
There's
of
just
that.
a score.
There is no music.
There's
yeah.
no other actual music. I'll just make it real quick. It's not a picky nit, but like the beginning of the movie, this is how you know how shitty of a movie it is. They spelled the name Calabar, like when they're putting the opening credits, they spelled it with a C, but everywhere else it's with a K.
That's what I
know-
thought. Yeah.
So they
I
clearly-
noticed that too. I was
they
like,
clearly
so we already have a
changed-
grammatical here.
Yeah, they clearly changed it at some point, but just were like, nah, we fuck the opening credits. We're good.
I have two picky nits. Unless you got more, Woj? Sorry.
No, I got a bunch. Just keep hitting them. Let's go.
Okay. Two. Number one. How does nobody see the floating bus on Halloween night in the middle of the
Right.
street? That's in the mortal world, by the way. Two. Why does the sunlight affect Calabar when he's Emperor Palpatine, but not when he's in his mare skin?
I mean,
Did you notice that? When
Yeah.
they open the door on him when he's Emperor Palpatine. He's like, the light, I'm melting. And then like later on, he comes outside and like darkens the sky or whatever. But when he's in his human skin, he's outside in the daylight and he's perfectly fine.
I
don't get
I don't think there's a
that.
great explanation other than the fact that like I think him in his fucking like portal thing, the movie screen, I think it's maybe like that's where he has the most power. He's in his own kind of like element or world, and that's where he needs to get the talisman so then he can fucking like, hey, now I'm spreading like
No, but I'm saying, but if he's the most powerful in the movie theater, then why would the light even affect him at all? Like, if he's away from the movie theater, which when it doesn't affect him, then why doesn't it?
Fair
it's
point.
a kids movie.
Fair point. I
It's
don't know.
All right,
Not
I
a
got
really
two
good.
real quick. The fact that Dylan is a wizard or warlock. Why? Like, clearly,
because the family's all.
I get that. I get that. But
the Cromwell's
right?
bloodline.
No, but I wasn't sold on that period.
What are you talking about? I don't.
The
you
fact
weren't
that, like,
sold
randomly
on
in the middle of the plot, oh, you're a warlock, do this, and, like, he has powers. It's like, no, that's not how this works.
But it's a family thing.
And
I don't care.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, if you have a normal dad as a dad and you marry a witch, you'd imagine one of the kids would just be normal.
Okay, fair point on that.
And then the one thing that 13 years of the mom saying, fuck this, I'm living in the normal world, she'll never be a witch. Within 24 hours, I'm going to teach her. It's like, man, you're really high strung on 13 years of fucking bullshitting it.
Well,
I don't know.
I would say
Just that ending, I was like, Jesus.
that she proved she was capable of handling
Whatever.
the magic because she saved the town or whatever. So now she's like, okay, well, maybe I made a mistake and it was wrong of me to
I'm just
suppress your magic.
She was gun ho early on. No, fuck that. She's gonna be normal. And then within a 24-hour period, I'm gonna teach her. It's like,
well, at this point, too, the cat's out of the bag. She already knows that the Halloweentown exists.
I guess
and
maybe
she's a witch.
Okay, I get that, but I was just like, dude, like her demeanor, like she gave me the same type of vibes of from Breaking Bad, the wife. Skylar. She was the Skylar of that movie.
Definitely like the antagonist in like, or not the antagonist, but like the dragging down.
Yeah, I'd agree.
Like, hey, no, you don't want to do this or whatever. But again, I think we say a lot of this stuff with the
Dylan and Benny. That is.
I mean, we say a lot of this stuff though with, again, it's a kids movie from back.
Granted,
in the day.
yeah, we got to put it in context.
I would just say the like they're on the bus there. The kids are screaming. There's a bunch of interaction. Like, how does the grandma not hear?
Right.
And like, how does they also just have the smallest kid just appear on the bus? I'm like, if she didn't get in through the front,
that's another thing.
How the fuck
did she get on?
Yeah, where the little cat? Yeah,
just appeared. Yeah, just
she was hanging on. The whole time underneath it.
Just straight up magic.
What's that from? Cape Fear when he does that.
Yeah,
underneath
she tied herself under with the belts.
She Cape Feared it all the way to Halloweentown.
That's great.
They just need to add that shit in.
That's good stuff.
The deleted scenes.
That would be fucking great. All right, then it's better. All right, go ahead.
I've already improved the movie.
You can do so many things.
I do love that they're like, as soon as the Calabar is like taken to the ground, everybody's like, yeah, we won. It's like, he's still right there. Like,
yeah,
I'm sure he can still fuck you
dead.
up from.
What was Calabar's plan exactly?
Take
over the mortal world.
No, but like, why is making all these people
gives him more power?
Is it? Oh, I don't know.
Think about Magneto essentially.
Did they get in his way and he's like, well, now I have to keep him quiet.
They're feeding him. That's why they're in the movie theater.
But is he eventually gonna do the whole town like that?
I think what it is that he needs enough people to get out of the movie.
Seems to me like he wants to like liberate the town, yet he also wants to feed off them. It's kind of counteracting.
Yeah, I don't think it was a great plan. He obviously got
saying?
stopped by 13, 10, and
again, it's a kids movie, so I'm sure the plot wasn't super important.
Cool, bring out a necromancer, take all their dead back, and go to the
Jesus.
Let the hate
I do have
like
a last one here of like. Definitely, like, there's a blurred line on what makes Halloweentown residents a resident. Because there's just some guys dressed as, like, a milkman.
I love that.
And just, like, he's in the back. It's, like, simply just a Halloween costume.
Like, even the guy checking him, like, out at the store is like, hey, just a normal dude.
Maybe he had the opposite, where it was a human somehow found their way into Halloweentown and stayed. And they have...
Okay, maybe a crossbreeding.
The opposite of April O'Neil.
I thought it was more of a protected community for that exact reason.
Well, I'm saying that maybe the Halloweentown person, like April O'Neil did one time, somehow they left. They went to a party and then they brought this said person back with them, and then they chose to stay there for the rest of their life.
I mean, yeah, there's a lot of shit that's just not mentioned in that. But the last thing I'll kind of just mention before we get to ratings here is just simply. There have been a lot, as Bobby's Amber had said, like there is a Halloweentown 2, Calabar's Revenge. There's a Halloweentown High.
Return to Halloweentown. There's like a new Marnie. There's like a different chick playing her.
Yeah, so there's a bunch of shit that came after this. I mean, to me, this is just simply, hey, this one did pretty well, so like let's
We should have cast Topanga for the main female lead. That would have actually
too
sold
old.
me
She's
more.
too old at that point, but I would
And
love it.
what year was this filmed?
98.
98. Well,
I don't
90.
think she'd been too
It would have been
old.
She's like
96.
20 or like.
She wasn't 20 in
18.
98. Are you high?
Hell yeah, she was.
Dude, she was. What are you talking about? She was like 18 at least.
That was in the-
We're going to check this out.
Boy Meets World ended in 2000, and that's only 2 years later, and they were in college then, so she's probably, like 18, 19.
That blows my mind, and I'm not willing to accept that. But
The Marnie chick's supposed to be like 13. I think as it is, she's probably like 15 or 16, the real life actress, I'm guessing.
Whatever. I was just trying to do a little recast.
Yeah, it's,
I would like
I
her.
mean,
I
if you
would like
guys
to
have it, I don't have anything because again, this movie was just a thing where you go, hey, this happened. Like TV movies were again made at a time where TV was such a thing of like it's not the greatest shit out there, but it was at least somewhat entertaining
I will say it's
for the age group.
It's an interesting idea that I think would be better if it was like maybe like a Pixar type movie or like an animated where it was like
I could see that having a little bit more
like even like
gravitas.
Nine Before Christmas, but it's Halloweentown. Some like they kind of did a similar.
I get that, but with live action, it limits things. I
Yeah,
think.
especially with the budget of a TV movie,
Right.
for 1998.
That's what we need to consider. All in this. Is the fact it's a TV movie. The budget's probably next to nothing.
Well,
Some of the costumes of the Halloweentown people were great.
And I'm sure you know.
I like the low budget.
I'm
shit,
sure you
though.
notice it's like pre-HD. You can tell it's a little fuzzy with the way it
Yeah,
looks.
and you said the green screen was like bad visual effects and stuff.
Yeah,
but
when she's up on
you
a
know,
broom
again, to me, these type of movies, because I will, as I don't even know, Ryan had seen some DComs, and even Brink, I think, was a unanimous.
Brink was phenomenal.
You pretty much had to be a real dick to not like Brink for some reason or another.
Pumping suds, baby. That's.
But
Soul Skaters.
we'll do some other decom, but I will just say that this one was not it's not one of my tops.
No, it was a Halloween.
It was a Halloween
Right.
themed one. I was like, oh, this one
I'm
works.
just saying, you swung and missed, man.
I didn't swing and miss. I knew what I was doing.
Oh my
It was a strategic infield single.
I feel like I had diabetes at the end of this, and I felt like my testosterone dropped off.
All right,
There we go.
why don't you start it with the own it, stream it, skip it, or
In Bobby's case, burn it.
Skip it. Move on with your life. Give yourself 120 minutes back.
Never get that time back.
I know, right? Amber's gonna hate me.
what are you
with this.
talking about? I set you up. I gave you the. You're like, oh, I gotta watch this movie. And I gave you some nice time with your fiance. You're welcome.
I know. So that was nice. She loves it. So it was good to have that moment. But outside of that, I'd rank this thing as a 5.2. I think it barely passes much as of a movie. That's why I at least give it a 5. I wouldn't go too deep past that. Like, if something is lower than a 5, then dude, you're clearly messed up on a lot of fronts. But 5.2, skip it.
Okay, those are the only two answers. The questions to answer. Go ahead.
All right. This is a complicated grade. Let me say why.
Is it though?
It's a little bit because let me get into it.
All right, let's.
I have a little nostalgia for this, not a lot, but a little bit. I did see it when I was younger, and I revisited. It's obviously different. It's a kids movie, so it's kind of hard to judge it against.
I like Hocus Pocus,
Hold
and
on,
that's a kids movie.
Hold on. Have we done a just straight up kids movie?
No, we haven't.
We have not.
So it's like, so I knew this was going to be a bottom tier movie for me, a rating. So I went back to my lower scores, which was, as you guys might recall, 2001: A Space Odyssey.
Yes, I'm very familiar.
And I think Kingdom of Heaven maybe was the
They
other.
were low on that too, but they both won
They
a
were
bunch
both
of
like
nominations. but
around
you're right.
6.2s. So my question to myself was, do I go lower than 6.2 or do I not? And there's reasons for both. Now, the quality of the movie is not great. The acting is not great. However,
The
the story is easy to follow. At least it's not like, like sometimes some parts of 2001: Space Odyssey was like a drag, or I'm just like, Jesus Christ, this is so boring.
But I will also say though
With
that
the right psychedelics,
it didn't.
it's a great movie.
To me, this movie didn't have so many picky nits. We were like, why the fuck is that person there? Who is this person? Like it didn't. It like you're saying it's easy to follow. It was like, this is the bad guy. This is what they're trying to accomplish.
So it's
this
like,
is what happens.
Overall, I didn't enjoy watching this movie that much. But I wasn't like.
You're dragging it out.
Didn't
Just say it.
I don't know. I'm trying to say like 2001 had like at least a couple awesome scenes and it looked amazing, right?
Yeah.
But I was really bored throughout it, and like
I get that. No, but let's
So
go land the plane.
I'm gonna give it 6.1. I'm gonna go just under it. I don't know.
It's fine.
It's like
That was generous. There you
yeah,
go.
like I don't know. Like so you could watch it. Like I would skip it obviously unless you're like you have kids or something. Maybe you don't want to watch it with them.
I'd skip it with the kids. Amber, I'm sorry.
Or if someone wants to watch it with you, like a significant other, maybe that would be cool. But on my own, not so much.
She doesn't like Hocus Pocus. Can you believe that? All right, sorry.
Yeah, I'm gonna also go. This is a skippable one for sure.
Why the hell did you pick it?
The fact that there's, I already gave you the reason why.
Okay.
But the fact that this is again, it's like the decom is like more nostalgia kind of. But in the general sense of this, you can definitely skip it. That guy just got rolled up. That looks like it hurt. Definitely skip it. I will give it a rating of a 6.9, and that is the official Woj's 6.9.
Super generous.
It's more nostalgia brings it up, and it is what it is. It's not the fucking greatest, but I will say that we were really blessed because when we grew up and we had some of these movies, which we'll eventually get to, the animated movies are so much better than the fucking live action movies from back in the day. Even if they are kids movies, you're like, dude, the Lion King or some shit like
well,
that.
Yeah, you had the classic anime, and then Pixar was coming about this time. We had a lot of choices.
The Disney Renaissance.
Yeah. So I think for this PG, this kid movie, I think we were all pretty much unanimously going to be definitely lower than what we're usually at, because obviously we're all more fans of drama or comedy or horror.
Movies for adults.
But I do agree. If this is like, you got kids or a fucking wife or a girlfriend.
Right, like if you have your nieces and nephews and they wanted to watch something.
And it's Halloween time.
So 13 Ghosts would be about appropriate.
I mean, there are definitely better Halloween. I mean, Casper the Friendly Ghost is a great one.
I love Casper. With, what is that, Christina Ricci?
Yeah, I think that was
Ricci, yeah.
But yeah, I'm just saying is that I knew this going into it, so I'm not too hurt by your scores of lower stuff. So let's tease the next one.
All right. So well, this is me, and we're gonna have my buddy Dave, who I work with. You guys, I don't know if you know him. Joe Woj knows him.
Davey.
I'll get to know him. I love
Dave Mars. He's the one to come on the pod.
Excellent.
So I asked him for me and him to come together for a movie choice. He actually chose it, and I actually like this movie a lot. So we're going with 2014's Whiplash.
Great one.
Miles Teller, J.K. Simmons movie.
Like both
drumming.
those actors. So
I don't know if you guys.
I've never seen it.
Oh, it's fucking fantastic. You'll love
movie.
it. It's a great movie. So, and I'm gonna text you guys. I have a copy of the rubric. I got a new category I told Woj about. I'll fill you in about it.
Can't wait.
So you're prepared for it.
All right, can't wait.
All right, so we'll look forward to that next week. We got a 7-7 game going on right now.
Real barn burner.
Yeah, we'll see.
You know what? They're both hungry right now. They're both defense is stepping up.
I think there's going to be some more points scored for sure.
Yep.
I mean,
defensive breakdown.
I really thought it was gonna be like a high scoring game so far.
I didn't think so.
I thought it was gonna be a shootout.
AFC North, man, they got great defenses in the AFC North, much like the NFC North.
They got great offenses too.
Yeah, but I'm just saying they're good. They're good. All right, so Journeymen Lounge podcast. We'll get back at you next week. We'll have a special guest and Dave. We'll get that fucking rocking. I'm sorry, what was the movie again?
Whiplash.
2013.
All right.
14.
Let's fucking do it to it, Lars.
All right. Thank you guys for tuning in. We'll catch you next time.
I can feel it, Tony. All right.
My pleasure, Tony. You guys almost got it.
Yeah, almost.